Let's send Mr. Lark all over town, even though we know he will not get hired at these places who are deeply seeped in these Baker City roots and those old cultural beliefs of how Oregon works from the, I don't know, 1600s or whatever the people of this area believe in, that really have them uptight on the whole cultural aspect of it's 2016 now. But back then it was, 2007, 2005. And I'm looking at Alan like, what is going on here? You're sending me from my apartment, which is on Indiana Street, Green Acres, which is way over here, all the way to that old Radio Shack that's just way over there next to that, I don't even know what that place is called, Balin's welding place. And it's so, you have any idea how incredibly far that is? On these legs, that messed up ankle, messed up hip, my back is messed up. My alignment is so messed up that it grinds on my hip. And I do this walk all over the place. I actually brought one of those little pedometers. And you can't just fake the miles on those things.
Well, I can't make mine work. I've got one, I can't make it work.
And I used to show Ella McCandless mine. Take pictures of the thing. 32 miles a day. For no reason. Putting in applications for no reason. Writing all these long page after page after page for no reason. For a job that I'll never get. For a job that will never call me back. For jobs that will quickly call a pedophile a meth head. And these places have. I talked to you guys in previous meetings about how I tried getting a job when I first moved here, actually moved here at the Tamarack Courts at the Habitat for Humanity, which is right there. And what do? They hired a guy named Wade, who was a meth addict, who is still a meth addict, who visits this office and you guys know is a meth addict. You can't discuss that because he is a client, client privilege, you guys have your confidentiality, but I know Wade. All right. And so they hired Wade over me because Wade's local, because Wade has that local appearance. That's kind of like I sent Fran several attachments that features a guy named Tony. Tony's used to be one of the owners until he was fired for separate reasons. His reasons were illegally selling recreationally, but he was one of the owners of the newly opened dispensaries. I tried.
She showed me that. I wasn't sure why you were forwarding that to us. Is that an industry you want to be in?
No, I was trying to get a job. Also, because people around here seem to have this conception that every black person they see is a drug dealer. Why not? Also, I have a marijuana card, which legally states that people with marijuana cards can work at that job. You cannot work at that job without an Oregon medical marijuana card. If you're not a part of the Oregon medical marijuana program, you cannot work there. You cannot be in the property or in the building or on.
And what is the job? Is it dispensary job work?
It's a dispensary job. Yeah.
So vocational rehabilitation has taken the position that we don't support dispensary work because we're funded primarily with federal dollars.
And I'm pretty sure of that. So yeah. But that wasn't the point. I have this job.
That you're working for.
Yeah. So
let me tell you
what's going on with that Tony file was to show you I still face that around here. Hence this whole, just like you said in a previous meeting, trying to imagine me working at, I can't remember the name of the retirement home.
Excuse me, I'm going to be standing up and sitting down because my leg really hurts. Is that okay?
So it's just like you said, it's some retirement home that you mentioned that, you can't imagine me working there because of the patients that work there would be kind of freaked out by the black guy and the whole,
Are you talking about Wildflower Lodge?
Yeah.
Did we talk about Wildflower?
Yeah, it's in a previous video where you discuss how Wildflower has several senior citizens, and these senior citizens do date back to a very, yesteryear, Reagan, older times in which the world was quite different.
Well, actually, my worry about this job for you is your back.
No, actually, this
And
job
your
doesn't.
knee.
This
If
job.
you are picking up people and doing transfers.
I don't actually have to pick up people or do anything or do anything of the sort.
This job where it talks about errands.
Yeah, this job talks about errands. I have a car.
Maybe,
Yeah, all
maybe doable for you, but if you're in a residential care facility where you're transferring patients or helping them use, you know,
Right.
the
That's
bathrooms
if
or
I was,
something.
that's if I was trying to, you know, do that kind of job where I transfer people, but clearly I don't have to. I'm disabled. I know I'm disabled. And so when I would be there during the interview,
So-
there would be other job functions that I could do. And the home care worker program, just like the home care choice program, features a whole wealth of programs, which I don't understand why we're getting stuck on the whole me picking people up thing, you know.
I was talking about facility work there.
Facility work, you know, is not much of a major problem.
So Nick, can I jump in
As
and
long as
talk
I
about the
don't-
VR process a little bit? Because one of the first things we have to do, and it looks like Fran has filled out that release for WIN so that we can get a copy of your benefits planning report so that we can work with you around how much work we're searching for you. After we get that report, and it looks like you filled out a release for his doctor so
I'm
we
not
can
sure
get
Nick,
documentation.
if I spelled your doctor's name correctly, but McNair,
Yeah,
N-A-I-R,
McNair, it's at the Marisol Clinic, Marisol,
in Hermiston.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So after we get that documentation, we can update your eligibility to address those orthopedic back-related problems for you, and we can accommodate that in a work
Right.
situation.
Right.
What we haven't settled on yet is a job goal or an individualized plan for.
When you say job goal, what exactly are you getting at there?
So when Fran writes the plan for you, she has to select a job goal. If it ends up being home care worker, there are a number. It has to fit with your disability. It has to not exacerbate your disability. It sounds like you've thought through some of those programs. It looks like there's still some more things you have to do in terms of registering as an LLC on here.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to prevent you from doing this. And I would encourage you to keep moving down this paperwork path if this is really where your heart is at. But what VR has to be careful to do is not place you in an employment setting that's going to exacerbate your disability.
Of course, and this actually does not. Yeah.
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 And I read through that.
Yeah, it does not.
Fran probably needs to take a copy of it. It looks like, you know, if you're just doing errands for people, or what did it say, errands and.
No, this is just a brief overview. If
Yeah.
you would like to know what a home care worker does, you can just look that up on the internet.
Okay.
I mean, if I have to go over that, that's going to take up more of our
Right,
time that we don't
and it just
have.
talks about you filling out your LLC so that you
Yeah.
have an I-9 for income tax reporting at the end of every
Yeah.
year, and your W-4 every time you take
Now-
a different job. So, read that.
Now, as far as the job goes, no, it doesn't exacerbate that. It doesn't exacerbate the back. You know, I mean, even if I have to
Here's the
go to
big-
someone's house and, you know, moderately clean up, it even
Mhm.
says that you can sit
You
down.
could do that.
Yeah, well, there are people who are disabled that work as home care workers.
Right, and your
So-
recommendation is a rest every 2 to 3 hours?
It's not my recommendation,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
his
yeah.
doctor's
Yeah.
recommendation.
In the
And-
eligibility, 2 to 3 hours for 20 minutes? Is
Yeah,
that what it said?
right.
His
And
doctor,
so,
let's see it. I don't-
with that goes, did she discuss with you the training classes, like you brought up the CPR thing?
Yes, 20 to 30.
Did you tell
Every
her
2
about
hours.
that?
I
tell you
did.
about
She
that?
mentioned it earlier today, but we've got some things so these would be
training
things
classes-
which
the
would
training
go
classes
into
are-
a plan for employment.
Yeah, because the training classes are a whole different
But we're not
step.
quite there yet. So let me throw out one more thing I want you to think about too, Nick, because one of the things that we would like to do is to address.
No, because you do know that when I go to apply for positions, I have to email individually clients and then
Oh, okay.
wait for an email back from these
that
people.
client.
And I cannot share with you the email
That's
numbers because
right.
that would break confidentiality and then I would be
Yeah.
under duress. But a lot of the clients, as I showed her through screenshot, and not only screenshot, but share with her just information of what the page generally runs as, a lot of these patients, if you go online, will tell you that they have a where they fill out, you know, a general information sheet of who they are and whatnot. We don't have that information, but we do have information such as what they're looking for, their sort, you know, sort of preferences. They want a male, female, smoking, not smoking. The other preferences is a lot of these people have these preferences for these classes, and that's what these classes, and that's why these classes are just like I said with HUD. They kind of take precedent, like in order for this thing to really move, because a lot of these people have preference for people who have such classes such as protection against sprains and strains, which is known as the PASS class, P-A-S-S, the PDT class, which is known as preventing disease transmission, TRIPS, T-R-I-P-S, taking responsibility and personal safety.
Okay.
Compass. Now, Compass we're going to have to get to last, but Compass is, it counts as 2 classes, and I don't have the acronym. Oh, that's it. Communities of Practice and Safety Support. Compass is going to require a little bit more explanation.
A whole job making acronyms.
Now, the Compass class is this. I recently talked to.
Are these free?
No, they're yes and no. Here's the yes. Yes, the classes are free, and no, they're not, because none of these classes are local. In fact, none of these classes are held in Eastern Oregon. And I supplied her with the PDF of the official training book. I didn't know that. I know that some of the classes are offered out here in this, or how about this? Hermiston is about as eastward as it gets. Otherwise, they're really trying to push this area into being more accepting and more inclusive of lesbian, gay, and transgender.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I've said about people of color and different nationalities and, you know, religions.
Mm-hmm.
They're really trying to push that in this area because it's you
Big
know,
learning curve.
that and the whole Bundy family taking over the Burns Wildlife Refuge really sent the message to the rest of the world that, yeah, it's really okay up here. You know, they really are getting a slap on the wrist so far. People are watching that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the Compass class, the explanation on this is this. The Compass class is seldomly offered. I called I actually talked to, I can't remember, Josh Mellon. Josh Mellon here at the, he's one of the several people here at the Home Care Choice Program that can give you information. Otherwise, you'll get a call back from, I believe, she works here actually. She's one of the several people that you can get a call to. If not, it's a 503 number, but they will tell you that the Home Care Choice Programs, the Compass program, is offered once in a while. That's why it counts as 2 classes, and that there isn't one currently scheduled at any time for the near seeable. And
But it occasionally comes to our area.
well, no, it doesn't occasionally. It doesn't come to this area. It occasionally comes to Portland, Salem, or Eugene.
And who sponsors the trainings?
SE.
APD,
Yeah.
APD,
Yeah,
Adults and People with Disabilities.
SE. You're saying the same. I'm in the same union as you.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of these classes are held typically at a lot of the, either a hotel or.
So the union sponsors the classes?
Mm-hmm. Now,
Oh.
in order for the classes to become paid, I would have to have a few hours already as a paid employee, and then I start, you know, I can be paid. As a matter of fact,
That's what you brought last time, yeah.
actually, the one I brought had a lot of my car insurance information all over it. This happens to be another one. I don't know how I ended up with 2 of them, but the Compass class, if you read through this, this is the old one. This is the one I got for when I took my training in December. But if you look through this, you'll see that all the cities are listed, and these are all the classes, all the acronyms for the classes, in which the little code page right there, the code lists all what the classes, the acronyms for the classes mean. But if you look through this,
You've done a lot of work.
if you
Nick,
look
I'm
through this,
impressed. Oh yeah, Hermiston.
yeah, if you look through this,
John Day.
you will see a lot of classes, and not only that, but you will not see a Compass class.
The Grand.
Mm-hmm.
Pass and trips,
Yeah, but that's 2015.
November.
Mm-hmm.
Ontario, November.
Yeah, but you're also looking at 2015.
Yeah, last
Right.
November they came through, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So will they
And
come
so-
again this November? Who knows?
No, actually, here's the thing. I've looked up a lot of the classes, and the thing is these books and these class schedules only released
Well, none of these are any past
the
December.
the book.
Uh-huh,
The book only goes back. The book itself
uh-huh.
goes back what did I say? 2-3 months from what it looks. But when you're actually on the home care worker,
Yeah, let's
You
go to
know,
the webpage. Can you go
we're-
to that webpage? And see if there's,
when you're actually on the actual web page itself, it doesn't actually give you this in depth.
oh, it doesn't.
It does not. You actually have to really, you got to be kind of,
So it's a Facebook page. It looks like it's right here.
no, that's not the page.
He wants to know the home care.
No, you want to go to the home care commission
Home
page.
care, commission,
You want to go to this one right here.
Okay, www.or-
Now, your computer's going to give you a warning that the page has a faulty script or unauthorized something or other.
You have to
Your
click through it.
your antivirus.
Virus stuff.
No, your antivirus will. My antivirus on my computer pops up and tells me that this script is dubious in nature and that you should be wary of the information you put on it.
Did you want to sign this so we can get a copy of your, this here, Nick, you have, you initial here.
This TRIPS
here.
class is the closest one. It's in Hermiston. It's on 5/25 of this month at the Oxford Suites, happening at 9
This is
a.m.
Wednesday. Next Wednesday, yeah.
Right, but when I was looking through the thing, I started trying to piece together where all these classes are. And not only that, but, I was actually seeing that, okay, that CPR class that you were talking about earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, getting
Your
paid,
general CPR class, yeah.
Right, now, the Home Care Commission will pay for that class if I take all these other classes.
Oh, so
Yeah,
they're
if I take-
prerequisite, huh?
If I take the prerequisite classes, not only if I take the prerequisite classes, but a lot of the patients, I need to switch it to you in order to.
So any